Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your face, specifically, looks rounder, puffier, or fuller than it used to, even when the rest of you feels about the same? It's a surprisingly common worry, and it can be confusing. Why would just your face change? Well, here's the honest, science-based truth that almost nobody tells you. In most cases, your face isn't simply getting fat on its own. Something else is usually going on. And once you understand what, it makes a lot more sense, and it's often very manageable. So today I'm asking 3 questions. 1. Can you really gain fat in just your face? 2. What actually causes a fuller or puffier face? And 3. What can you genuinely do about it, and when should you see a doctor? Now, one important thing up front, this isn't about chasing some perfect look or feeling bad about your face. Faces are wonderfully different and they change through life. This is about understanding your body and your health. Let's investigate. Let's start with the single most important fact because it reframes the whole question. Your body does not gain fat in just one isolated spot, like only your face. That's not how fat storage works. When you gain body fat, it tends to be distributed across your body in a pattern largely set by your genetics and hormones, not dumped into one location while everywhere else stays untouched. So the idea that your face alone is getting fat while the rest of you is unchanged is, scientifically, unlikely to be the full story. So what are you actually seeing? It usually comes down to one of 3 things. 1. Puffiness, that is, fluid retention, making your face look temporarily fuller, which is extremely common and often quick to change. 2. Overall weight gain that simply shows up clearly in the face because the face is where many of us notice changes first. Or 3. In some cases, an underlying medical cause that deserves a doctor's attention. Understanding which one it is changes everything about what to do. So let's go through the real causes, starting with the most common by far. By far, the most common reason a face looks fuller or puffier is fluid retention, and the biggest everyday trigger is salt. When you eat a lot of salty food, processed snacks, fast food, canned and packaged meals, restaurant food, your body holds on to extra water to balance out all that sodium. And one of the first places that retained fluid tends to show up is the face, especially the cheeks and around the eyes, because the skin there is thin and delicate. This is why you might wake up looking puffy after a very salty dinner the night before, and then look more normal again by the afternoon. The key insight is this. That kind of puffiness isn't fat at all. It's water, and it can come and go quite quickly. So if your facial fullness seems to fluctuate day to day, or is worse in the mornings, salt and fluid retention is a very likely culprit. And the good news is that it's one of the easiest things to influence, simply by being more mindful of how much salty, processed food is in your diet. Now to the second common cause. The second common cause is one we've all experienced, a bad night's sleep. When you don't sleep well, 2 things happen that can puff up your face. First, fluid can collect in the tissues of your face overnight, especially around the eyes, leaving you looking swollen and puffy in the morning. Second, poor sleep disrupts a stress hormone called cortisol, which can encourage your body to hold on to water and promote that puffy, bloated look. Add in the fact that when you're lying down for hours, fluid can pool in your face rather than draining away as it does when you're upright, and you've got the classic puffy morning face. The reassuring part is that this kind of sleep-related puffiness is usually temporary. It often eases within a few hours of being awake, upright, and moving around, as the fluid redistributes. But if you're regularly short on good sleep, you might find your face looks puffier more often than you'd like, which is just one more reason that protecting your sleep pays off for your whole body, including how your face looks and feels. Now to the third. The third common cause is alcohol. If you drink, you may have noticed your face looking puffier the day after, and there's solid reasoning behind it. Alcohol affects your body's fluid balance and can leave you dehydrated, which sounds like it should make you less puffy, but the body often responds to dehydration by holding on to water afterward, which can show up as facial puffiness. Alcohol can also promote inflammation and dilate small blood vessels, contributing to a flushed, swollen look in the face. And drinks are often consumed alongside salty snacks and a poor night's sleep. So alcohol frequently arrives bundled with two of the other puffiness triggers we've already discussed, stacking the effect. So if your facial fullness tends to be worse after evenings of drinking, that's a very understandable pattern. As with the others, this kind of puffiness is usually temporary and fades as your body rebalances. But for people who drink frequently, it can become a more regular feature. Cutting back, staying hydrated, and being mindful of the salty snacks that come with it can make a visible difference. Now to a cause that's a bit different. The fourth cause is gentle but honest. Overall weight gain that simply shows up in your face. Remember, you can't gain fat in your face alone, but when your overall body weight increases, your face is often one of the places where it becomes noticeable, sometimes even before you notice it elsewhere. Many people store some fat in the cheeks and under the chin, so a change in overall weight can round out the face. This is completely normal human biology, and it's nothing to feel ashamed about. The important, honest point is this. If it's related to overall weight, then the answer is not some magic trick to target your face. There is no exercise or cream that melts fat from just one area. Spot reduction is a myth. Instead, if overall weight is the factor, gentle, sustainable, healthy lifestyle habits that support your whole body are what genuinely help over time. And your face will naturally reflect those broader changes. Please don't fall for extreme diets or crash plans. They're unhealthy and rarely last. Slow, balanced, kind to yourself habits are the real path. Now, let's talk about the causes that need a doctor. Now, please listen carefully, because while most facial fullness is harmless, sometimes it signals something that needs a doctor. First, the urgent one. If your face, lips, or tongue swell up suddenly, especially with any difficulty breathing, swallowing, or a rash, this can be a serious allergic reaction and is a medical emergency. Seek emergency help immediately. Second, certain medical conditions can cause facial puffiness or fullness, and these need proper evaluation. An underactive thyroid can cause facial swelling and puffiness. Kidney problems can lead to fluid retention that shows in the face, often with puffy eyes, especially in the morning. And certain hormonal conditions, such as one involving high cortisol, can cause a characteristically rounder face. Third, some medications, for example certain steroids, are well known to cause facial fullness as a side effect. If you've noticed this after starting a new medicine, talk to your doctor, but never stop a prescribed medication on your own. So, see a doctor if facial swelling is sudden, persistent, one-sided, or comes with other symptoms like fatigue, weight changes, or feeling unwell. This video is awareness, not a diagnosis. A doctor can find the real cause and help. So if your facial fullness is the common, harmless kind, what actually helps? The good news is it's all about gentle, healthy habits, nothing extreme. First, be mindful of excess salt, especially from processed and fast food, since reducing it is one of the quickest ways to ease fluid-related puffiness. Second, protect your sleep, since good, regular rest reduces that puffy morning effect. Third, stay well hydrated. It sounds backwards, but being properly hydrated actually helps your body let go of retained water rather than clinging to it. Fourth, if you drink alcohol, cutting back can noticeably reduce facial puffiness. Fifth, if overall weight is a factor, focus on slow, sustainable, balanced, healthy living for your whole body. Never crash diets, and let your face follow naturally. And one myth to drop: those facial exercises or gadgets that claim to melt face fat don't really do that. You can't spot reduce fat. Above all, be kind to yourself. Faces naturally change with age, hydration, and life, and a little fullness is completely normal and human. The aim here is health and feeling good, not chasing an unrealistic ideal. So let's step back. What this really teaches us is that our face is a gentle reflection of our overall health and daily habits. Our salt, our sleep, our drinking, our hydration, our whole body well-being. When you see a change, the wise response isn't to panic, or to crash diet, or to obsess over your appearance. It's to get curious and ask, what's my body telling me? Often the answer is something simple and very manageable, like too much salt or too little sleep. Sometimes it's a sign worth taking to a doctor. Either way, understanding beats worrying. So if your face has been looking fuller or puffier, take a calm look at your habits, make a few gentle, healthy adjustments, and see a doctor if anything is sudden, persistent, or comes with other symptoms. And please, be gentle with yourself along the way. Your worth has nothing to do with the roundness of your cheeks. Remember, this is awareness, not diagnosis. If this honest take helped you understand your reflection a little better, share it with someone who's been quietly worrying about the same thing. They'll appreciate the truth. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.